Another common task, which is very common, finding and replacing. So editing contents of a string is a very common thing that you would be dealing with while writing codes. So first of all, strings are immutable, which means that if you have a string, let's say Stanford, right? So when I'm saying immutable, it means like I cannot go to a specific index, and instead of changing the entire string, I cannot change any particular character at the index. So we have a string Stanford. I cannot go to the index of m and change from m to n. I cannot change that thing to Stanford. Okay. So all what I can do is I can rewrite the entire string, okay, or find the character, find the word in the string and replace it. To update a string variable, new string must be created with the same name and new string value. This is what I have just mentioned. So replace method provides much simpler way to replace old occurrences of a string with a new one. So syntax would be replace method. You pass the old string and then you pass the new one. So it replaces all the old occurrences in the string with the new one. Okay. And replace old new count. You can see replace first count of old occurrences with a new one. So example, I think I do have an example. Yeah. Let's take an example of this one. So Yukon has Stanford, Storrs, Hartford, Waterbury, Every Point campuses. So what I'm doing now here is a string which contains this sentence dot replace, and I'm replacing comma with the forward slashes, and you can see this output. All the occurrences of comma are replaced with forward slashes. Okay. The next thing is replace old new count. So here we can specify how many occurrences we want to replace. So here you can see comma is replaced with forward slash only for the first two occurrences. Okay, so the first two occurrences of comma are replaced with forward slash, and the rest of the comma remain same. Okay, so whatever we are discussing here is you can try out on your computer at your own self, but these kind of things are important from MCQ's point of view. Okay. Finding and replacing is also another common task. Finding x, return the index of the first occurrence of item x in the string. If x is not found, means the string that we are looking for is not found, then it returns -1. Okay. X can be a string variable or a string literal. Literal means like only one character and a complete thing. So example, we have a string hello Lily with the exclamation mark at the end. You can see a string find. So what we are finding here is exclamation mark, and the index of the exclamation mark is 11. So you start off from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the space, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So exclamation mark is present at the 11th index. Okay. So you can also search for the entire substrings. HELL is placed at the 0th index. So this entire substring is placed at the 0th index. Okay. You can also look for some strings which are repetitive here, but you get only the first occurrence. So you can see double L you are looking for is also present at second index, and 6, 7, 8 index also. So it only return the index of the first occurrence. It reads from left to right, but it returned the first occurrence only. Okay. We can also okay, so here you can see we are looking for something which does not exist in this string, so it returns -1. So these are very common things. So for example, you are developing a logic to and looking for some data. So for example, some device is sending you some information data onto your receiving end, and you are developing an application for the receiving end. And if you are looking for something like a specific message, a specific text is received. Okay. Once the text is received, then it looks for that text, for example, at, and -1. It returns -1 because it does not found -1. Yesterday, I actually had I received a message from CVS to pick up my prescribed medication, and they actually gave me an option like, are you picking up today, tomorrow, specify with 1 if today, 2 for tomorrow, and other for 3. Okay, so suppose I pressed 1, so what would be the ending, I mean the other receiving end would be looking for? If there would be a logic implemented, if 1, then first of all it reads the string and look for 1. If it is 1, then execute this. If it is 2, then execute this. If 1 or 2 are not present, then the string find, maybe the find method, would return -1. And based on this output, when so for example, instead of replying with 1 or 2, I reply with, let's say, 9. Then it would return -1, and -1 would be a case in the branch structure that invalid option selected probably. Okay, so these are just some real world example that you can and you would likely to be implementing when you start developing your applications. Here there is another thing, we can specify the start and end index also. So what we are looking for is double L start from index 5. So here you can see this one, we were looking for LL, we did not specify the start index. So it started from the beginning, from 0, and it gave the first occurrence, which is placed at index number 2. Here we specified 5, so it will start searching from this point onwards. Okay, so when it starts searching from this point onwards, it will give you the occurrence of LL, which is at index number 8. Okay, any question here? Yep. So again, if you're looking for Lily and start from 0 and end at 5. So what we are doing here is we are searching for Lily in the string str, but our search is restricted to index number 0 and 5. Do we find Lily in there? We cannot find Lily in this search space. So actually the string contains Lily, but where we are looking for is in between 0th index and the 5th index. Okay, which means that Lily is not present, it will return -1.
Is the space between the O and the L like considered part of the index? So like would that be like 5?
I think I need to check it in the documentation, or we can just try that out now. So for example, here let's say string equals, first of all let me clear this out and go back again. So let's say string equals hello Lily, and I can, what was I doing, string.find to check whether the last index is included or not, right? So what I'm looking for is, let's say I'm looking for this space, okay, starting from 0, first of all starting from 0, and let's say 4, or let's say 5. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if last index is included, it should not return -1, right? Which means that the last index is not included. Okay. Okay, good question. There is another method rfind, which looks for the string reading from it search for the element in reverse order, starting from the last index and go all the way back to the first index, 0th index. and returning the last occurrence in the string. So find and rfind methods are useful if exact location is required. Otherwise, if you are looking for, let's say, I live in Stamford, and if you are looking for Stamford, and if you want to find out if Stamford is a part of a string, you can simply run Stamford in a string. An operator can be used if we do not know the exact location of this string, okay, or if you are not interested in grabbing the index of the string, substring or whatever, or character. So we can simply use an operator. Otherwise, we should be using find or rfind if you want to grab on the index values.